everyone, I'm Cakeebly and I wanted to start a little series over here on YouTube with my speed paints, and I get to explain my characters for the speed paints I draw. This first video is going to be over my favorite little personal project, which is called Crustulia, Baked in Time. This story takes place in Swedia, a little continent in a little universe that is filled to the brim with sweet-themed inhabitants. From the frosty peppermint forests to the towering molten lava cake mountains, there is a place for every little sweet treat. This piece features our main character, Chokolate Mousse, on the right, and our first antagonist, Sponge Cake, on the left. In Swedia, there is a dimensional department of Swedia, or the DDS, and they focus on analyzing other universes and exploring other realities. Now, this isn't a multiverse story like in the Marvel movies where you see the different versions of the same characters over and over, but each of these different universes are their own self-contained stories with their own self-contained physics and tropes, so you won't be seeing any different versions of the same characters. Choco is hired by the DDS to reinstate their exploration program by building a new dimensional traveling device. While Choco explores other worlds, he finds these abstracted monsters. These anomalies glitch in and out in agony as they attack the universes they are in. After defeating these monsters, Choco finds little pink candy-like shards. These shards are highly unstable and seem to be the energy source of these anomalies. Choco eventually figures out how to contain these shards, but he still has no idea where they're coming from. He meets Sponge Cake, a wandering dimensional traveler, but she doesn't seem very willing to work with him. In fact, she seems to attack him every time they meet. Sponge Cake seems to come from the same dimension he does, but he doesn't understand why she's so hostile, or why she seems to be similar to these monsters he's finding, glitching in and out of existence with highly unstable energy that seems to come off of her like an aura. But she doesn't seem to want his help. In fact, it seems like she only wants to steal the shards he's already collected. Sponge Cake gives no sign of what she wants to do with these shards, or why she wants them, but she and the shards are connected somehow. The first part of the story is Choco figuring out where these anomalies are coming from and what they exactly are, and he might find out some secrets that the DDS doesn't want him to know. That is a short summary, but I want to keep it a bit vague for now, so I'll end it there. But when I make more videos about these guys, you will learn more about this world with Choco. But onto the drawing. I wanted to draw something interesting that showcased both of these characters and a little bit of their dynamic. I'll start with Cake's design because she's the one I finish her half of the drawing first. Sponge Cake has a pretty consistent design. She has soft, liquidy, kind of fluffy hair for frosting, and she always has a pink, yellow, and blue color scheme with rubber hose style proportions. In this piece, I don't actually color her in, but I'll add a reference image that has all of her colors and design qualities for it on the screen. The reason why she has a bit of a different art style than Choco is because she has rubber hose type powers. So think Looney Tunes, Spinel from Steven Universe, or even Luffy from One Piece, that sort of thing. So she has stretchy limbs, can mess with physics a little bit, and has a goofy fighting style. She has a hammer space in her pant pockets, so she can always carry around tools or her signature big hammer she likes to hit Choco with. For her outfit, she has a sleeveless shirt and some bandages around her arms. Her pants are poofy with many pockets, and she has steel-toed boots. She also has these goggles on her head. She usually wears them while fighting or exploring, but she can also wear them on the top of her head. On her side of the drawing, she's with the anomalies that we will get into a little bit later in the story. I haven't quite designed them yet since I'm not particularly great with designing monsters, but something akin to the abstracted characters from the Amazing Digital Circus. Anyway, they have these lots of eyes and these shards on her side to show the connection from the shards to these anomalies. And I added a lot of grinning teeth for the anomalies. They're all looking at Sponge Cake. I hope I conveyed that you can't tell if they're smiling for her or at her. At the end of the drawing, I add in the glitching effects for the glitching aspect of these anomalies. Next up, we have Choko's design. Choco, while being the main character, has been difficult for me and his creator, Kocho, to draw. I should probably clear up the little name thing that's going on. Both Choco and Sponge Cake used to be personas of both me and Kocho. That is why their names are really similar to ours. But I will always refer to myself as Cakeebly, and my friend is Kocho, so I hope that won't be so confusing in the future, but it probably will be. Anyway, I wanted to include purples, browns, reds, and whites into Choco's design. I've always associated purple and red with chocolate. I think it's the most common packaging for chocolate brands as far as I can tell. And the color purple is my friend's favorite color. In his hair, I added different browns to show dark, milk, and white chocolate. I also added braids and liquid strands for a bit of interest and variety in his hair type. I did give him a backpack in the beginning, but I deleted it later because I didn't want to figure out how to design this backpack. On the jacket, I added what's supposed to represent whipped cream and chocolate shavings to add more into the chocolate mousse design. I also added little freckles for the chocolate shavings. Over time, Choco gets these powers from always being around these anomalies and being in different universes. He gains the ability of something akin to meme culture. That sounds a little strange at first, but what it really means is how animation in the old days used to have its same slapstick, rubber hose jokes. His powers come more from relevant current meme and jokes of the time. The biggest example of his is pulling out a comically large spoon for his main weapon. Or being like, or Choco could be like, I'm gonna head out, and then he slowly, seemingly disappears into the void, but he actually is just in the next room over. This might seem a little bit overpowered since there's less of a rule to modern day meme and joke culture, but for Choco's powers to work, it has to be funny and his emotional state has to be in the right space to use it. If he can't find a situation comical, he's not going to be able to pull himself out of that situation. There is a big mind to matter that has to happen. He can't be so scared that he can't find the situation funny because he's genuinely terrified for his life. So he has to balance taking things seriously, yet comical enough to use his own powers. So this would be me being done with the rendering, but it got deleted. I saved a version of the drawing a bit when I first started coloring it, but then I didn't save it before I made a PNG of specifically the shard in Choco's hands to do some glitching effects on it, and it deleted my drawing. Well, specifically, it went back to the last time I saved, which was at the coloring stage. I don't really know why, because I've used this method for other drawings before, and it never deleted my drawings. So I'm not entirely sure why that happened, but this time I'll just put some more effort into thinking about how lighting works and stuff. At least I don't have to figure out all the colors again, since I was recording this, so I did have the colors at least saved. For the grass in the background, I did color pick Sponge Cake's colors from her reference sheet to make the flowers to sort of tie together Choco's side and Cake's side of the drawing. After adding the glitching effects and remembering that Cake has pockets on her pants, the drawing is done. I'm really happy with how this turned out. I really liked how I designed Choco for this, and maybe we'll have a more consistent design now. Both me and Kocho kind of flip-flop on what we want Choco to look like, but maybe it'll be good now with this design. I am really liking the hair this time around. That's it for this video. I hope you really enjoyed my lore story ramblings for this video, and if I make more videos, I hope I'll see you in the next one. See ya!